Aha. Demiana. Aha. This is what you've got to know. Aha. A day is a Shah. Aha. Sorry, I'm in I'm in trio mode. It's a song called Da Da Da, and it's been turning around in my head how we can give you alternate lyrics to that. What you've got to know. Just one day is a Shah. Aha. Anyway, we'll get on to the video proper now. In the previous video, I had my brother from another mother, Stephen, here, who is now in the north of Portugal, and he described me as a musician, not really, a magician. So we'll look at that card. Number one, well, I'm Juan. So let's talk about being a magician. We've got a perfect example of it. You see, there is no real magic. All it is, it's just child's play. Let me explain. Let's take May the 4th and how that has in recent years been turned into May the 4th be with you, a reference to Star Wars Day. So what we do, we take May as being the 5th month, and it's the 4th of the 5th month. 5 and 4 is 9. You've just had yesterday, the 4th of July. Well, 4 and 7 is 11. So there you have a 9/11 across the two. Aha. But let's look at Independence Day. That's very interesting, and it is child's play. All we do, we approach every word, every sound. It just comes, and we start playing with it. So Independence Day, what are you hearing there? In, deep, end, ants would be one perspective. Independence in a system that has created codependency. So how independent is Independence Day? Sounds more and more like some ritual to deceive people. Of course, it comes with all the celebrations, which involves sales of extra food, extra drink, and so on. Ka-ching, money in the bank. What about being truly independent? Where you depend upon yourself. You find that fearlessness inside yourself. Because life is a dance, so you have an independent dance going on, being played by the system. But when it's turned inwards, it's a beautiful thing what has come out from the previous video I made with the first ever live tarot card reading that I'd ever done. And all that nervousness that comes up. But it inspired another in Archaix Underground to talk about being vulnerable. And what I find you'll experience from that, if you can sit with the discomfort, it will feel like everything is falling apart, which in a way you could express as being turned to ash. And from that ash rises an internal phoenix, you could say. Because something very beautiful comes out of sitting in that discomfort. From my own experience of it, just sit and be and allow. And you'll be surprised what will pop into the mind, like that song, da 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 da. It's stuck in the head now. I'm tinkering about with trying to make a little video, a 3-minute video short with pictures and things, but when you're doing things with cats, they never do things when you want them to. It's always on their terms, but they're reflecting something beautiful as well, that to be truly independent, we should do things on our terms, not the terms and conditions that we are subjected to. Being an obedient subject and all that. There was something else. It's gone at the moment, but that's the way it goes. The thing is, when this sort of thing happens, don't chase the thought, because you'll just push it further and further away. The thinking creates the electrical interference, whereas the magnetism, if you just allow, will allow things to come to you. It's reflected in so many ways. If you think of all the countless war stories where in times of crisis there will be one, because they're in that situation, finds that strength, that courage that they didn't know they had inside themselves. This is very much a theme with this spiritual journey, this know thyself, which we apply within ourselves. Because how can we be a truly authentic self if we don't know ourselves to the best of our abilities? And it does require sitting with the discomfort. Now, if we move to the physical outplay, for a lot of pain and things you have antibiotics, but it contains the word bio. We are biological beings. So if you've got something that's antibiotic, that would suggest it's something that's actually working against. It's suppressing the pain. If you suppress the pain and the discomfort, you will not be able to find the contrast of the joy and the wonders that come out of being able to sit in the discomfort. It's the complete opposite from the way we've been told, of course. Here is what you need to know. Join Archaix Underground. Your spiritual growth will definitely grow. That's for sure. Anyway, just a little video today, just to share a few thoughts. But when you hear a word, break it down syllable by syllable. Play with it. See what comes out of it. Like I've just shown you with a demonstration. Oh no, he said the word demonstration. It contains the word demon. But it also, if you play with it, you might not just hear the word demon, you might hear the word de-moon. The moon is associated with mystery. So you're removing the mystery, the veil, by demonstrating, by showing in action. Being the speaker, like the card that came out yesterday, speaker of birds, explaining about spirit, putting it into contexts that are easier to understand. You could say they're like metaphors in a way, which is another theme you'll find whenever you look back in history. There's this Jesus character who always speaks in parables, and they're all metaphors. It's all allegory as well. I think it's in Paul's letter to Corinthians. I think it's 2 Corinthians 13:5 seems to stick in the mind. So I'm suggesting that is the actual verse that tells you it's all allegory. Not to be taken literally. It is a piece of literary, but it's not meant to be taken as something literal, as historical. It's just a guide, and this is what so many things are, even words. When you start playing with them, it does become child's play. Because you take a word, you break it down syllable by syllable, you start hearing the words in a new way. It's often mentioned that words, if you put the S on the other end, it becomes a sword. And it is a metaphorical sword that is cutting through the veil, the fogginess of the mystery of what is this reality. So, well, we're up to 10 minutes. I think that's a good place to stop. So just consider, when you're encouraged by a system to celebrate something, consider, what is it you're really celebrating? Do you know it to be true? The real celebration is another thing that is inward. It is that Christ consciousness rising. It is the phoenix rising inside. I think it's fair to say, if you look at everything, there is always an internal play out to something and then an external play out. So yes, there'll be a Phoenix event in 2040. But internally, you don't have to wait to 2040. Because if you are the God of your world, you are also in control of the timing inside that world. It's up to you to make it happen inside yourself. I'm just sharing my experience in the hope that it will inspire for you to find it inside yourself. I can't do it for you. All I can do is talk about from my own personal experience of things. So I don't know, am I a magician? I'll leave that to you. I wouldn't say I am really. I just use the resources we've got. We can cross-compare with many things. We can find the patterns in things and then share it with others and put it out into the field. What do you make of this? The key is to do the unthinkable, though. Not in the accepted sense of the unthinkable, but again, just play with it. It's by not thinking that enables the magnetism to rise inside yourself. That self-recognition of who you truly are and what true power you have inside yourself. The answers will just come. This is, I'm saying, from a place of experience of doing that. Right, now we're up to 12 minutes, so I'm going to stop there because I don't want to make this too long. But I just wanted to put a few things out there, bit of thought-provoking material, as it were, for you. And I'm still in Michigan, in the material sense, and yet I'm not. From some perspectives, or in the event that someone in the future in a more primitive society was able to see this video and not have the understanding, how that could be turned into the mythology that there's this guy who's in Portugal and in Michigan at the same time. He must be a magician. When it is actually so simple when you really look at it, because in the material, this t-shirt says Michigan State on it, so you could say I am in Michigan State and yet I'm not at the same time. I find that quite amusing. The ego loves it because the potential of, from the ego's perspective of, oh, you're going to be famous, that does appeal to the ego. That feeling does come up, I'm not going to deny it. But it's all out there and potential, so in some ways you could say I am taking an active step in that direction. So the ego's like, yes, because it is important to have your whole being on side, all going in the same direction. You've got to be all in. That is what the true AI is. It's about being all in. Not artificial, but your whole being, your authentic self. Not the fear story, the opposite polarity of what AI is. And if you think about it, if you flip it over, IA, you just add M, the magnetism, it becomes I am. But you can also rearrange those letters and you've got the aim. That's the middle path between the Maya and the I am, is the aim. That's the trajectory to be going on. Right, as always, unconditional love to you all, and links are in the description if you'd like a personal one-to-one tarot card reading. Until the next video, ta-ta for now.